Hello there, friends, family, and everything in between. We have another random outing for you today, and on the left we have Josh Lindy, who is asking you what the name of the elementary school you went to, aka Rakdos Scams a Lot. And on the right we have Shaka Pinto playing Izzet Grinding Station or Izzet Breed Station. Very sweet decks. Now I will note you're going to see a little bit of a cut in about 30 seconds. Shaka was on a mulligan to 4. He accidentally mulled 5. And that was quickly discovered as we briefed. And Shaka had to put another card on the bottom of the deck. So it's going to cut. I had to go back and watch the footage. So this is us turning and be like, aren't you on a ball to 4? And we're like, oh, crap, cool. Give me 1 second. Boom. Now we're on a ball to 4. We fixed the problem. Shaka bottom of the Years of Saga. I don't know if that's actually what we would do at a comp REL event. But this is a casual weekly. So I'm sure somebody will make a mention of it in the comments about what you're supposed to do. I meant to ask my coworker, who's the L2 judge, when I saw him on Tuesday. But it is now Wednesday and I forgot. So I'll ask him tomorrow. Alright, we have Grief, then we use the Undying card. Not the super good Undying card, but the okay Undying card. The super good one returns it untapped with a +1/+1 counter on it. But yes, Rakdos Scams a Lot. As we talked about in the video that I uploaded a couple days ago, where this deck was also featured. I don't know why it's called Rakdos Scam. It's just kind of what people call it. I thought maybe with Aspiring Spike streaming it a little bit, somebody would know the answer. And I haven't been able to find it. Josh has said to me that scam comes from an acronym with the S standing for Stoneforge Mystic, but he doesn't know what the rest of the acronym is. So I'm interested as to what it could be. If you know, let me know down below in the comment section. Because I have to ask you to interact with the video. Because, you know, YouTube. Anyway, Shaka has dashed out a Ragavan Nimble Pilfer, has attacked, revealed a Seasoned Pyromancer that I'm sure he would love to cast, but is unable to. Takes a treasure token. Josh is fetching a Blood Crypt. And he has a 4/3 Grief that he just gets to attack with every turn now. And it has Menace. Very good.
How do I go back on that? What's that? Up?
Oh, you concede.
Scam is one of those decks that, like, when I watch it, especially, like,
Maybe this means somebody will finally answer my question.
live, I always, like, sit there and I'm like, why is this deck so good? It just looks like a pile of, like, really medium cards that just end up maybe being backbreaking, I guess. Like, there's good cards in this deck. Like, he has Ragavan, his Fury, his Blood Moons. Like, does it just, like, get cheeky wins through, like, random things?
Shadow Spear.
Like, is the Grief Undying just good enough? Sometimes that, like, the decks in the format can't compete through it? I don't know. It's very interesting.
To check. Life totals are still 17 to 15.
Attack for 4.
Attacks in for 4 here. Shock has Ragavan and Shadow Spear on the board. Here comes Seasoned Pyromancer. It's going to discard some cards. Going to discard 2 lands. Draw 2 cards. Drops a Prismatic Vista and a... Oh, God. What the hell's the name of that card? It's getting reprinted in the Commander deck. No. It's like the Death Storehouse. I think it starts with an S. I'm checking the employee Discord because we were talking about it getting reprinted. I don't know. I know my boss mentioned it by name. I want to say it's like Shiko, but I don't think that's right. It has turned out that we talk too much in the Discord for me to find the things that I'm looking for. Oh well. Alright. So Shaka's gonna equip the Shadow Spear to the Ragavan. Gonna crack in here, gain 3 life, deal 3 damage to Josh, gets to see the top card, and makes a treasure token. Revealed a Swamp to the effect.
Pass to you.
Grinding Station deck. Very cool. Very good deck. Shaka's also been playing it for, I want to say about 2 months now. He was a Living End player. Or no, he switched to Living End. Yes. He played Grinding Station for a while, actually. But recently made a switch, I think about 2 months ago, to playing Living End. And is now back to playing Grinding Station. I don't know if it's because we have other people who play Living End at the shop now. And he can just go back to being the only Izzet player. It's very weird. Our format, or our local meta, is either very spiky, and everyone is on, like, tier 1 decks, or it's just, like, 1 or 2 people are playing, like, the agreed-upon best decks, and everyone else is like, yeah, I'm gonna play this deck because I like it. It's very interesting. We'll go from, like, Leland, who's been playing 4-color pretty often lately, and then, like, this week he was like, I'm gonna play Reanimator. Like, I dig it. It's, like, the beauty of modern weeklies, right? Josh is dashed out his own Ragavan, asked his opponent if he could borrow a treasure token. The scam. The pure scam. Has Fury in hand and a Seasoned Pyromancer. I think he's debating if he wants to just play the Fury out or play the Pyro.
Hear me, come on. I know you
I don't know what I would do, personally.
I do. I have other
I think the
plays,
high roll
too.
potential is you play Pyro,
red card.
I have another red
discard the
card,
Fury,
that's
draw
correct.
2 new cards, get an elemental token out of it.
I Spyro, pitch my Fury.
Pretty close.
So giving up the Fury might be
Um,
a big point of contention. 'Cause Fury just also clean answers to Ragavan right now. It looks like that's what the call was made for. That is Pyro number 3, though. He's played 1,
pass.
exiled 1, and then Shaka has hit 1 off of Ragavan. Alright, dashes out a new Ragavan, plays a Mox Amber. Amber plus Treasure goes to equip the Ragavan with the Shadow Spear. I think he's giving it a second thought, debating if he wants to
No.
pay 2 resources to equip a dashed creature with an equipment, but he's going for it. It's going to hit for 3. He's going to bring the life totals to 11 all. There was a Black Cleave Cliffs. And honestly, Shaka doing pretty good at staying in contention for this game, despite the mull to 4 and then getting 2 cards ripped from his hand. Josh is going to fetch out a basic swamp. I wonder... We know Josh plays Blood Moon in his main board, as well as a couple extra copies at his side. I'm wondering how good it is. My mother just challenged me to a game of Moncala, and I don't know if I didn't know my mom knew how to play Moncala. There's your random thing of the day.
Oh, damn.
Anywho,
You can't be taking
I
cards.
wonder how good Blood Moon is against Grinding Station. Shaka plays a decent amount of basics, so like he can fetch around it. At least I believe he does. It kills the Ears of Sagas.
Treasures.
I don't know if it's disruptive enough for the win
Wait,
condition,
was
because
that?
if
Wait, did I take?
Shaka can put Emery on the board before the Blood Moon comes out, Mox Amber then produces a blue. I don't know. I'm actually really interested.
We'll use one of them to cash
And I don't remember if one gets played in this match or not. However, that Expressive Iteration is going to get cast, and Rakdos getting to resolve that card is unfair. So we see Grief, Fury, and Dolphy Voidwalker. All excellent cards in this position. Because, like, sure, Shaka doesn't have a board. The Fury kills nothing right now. However, it is also still just a 3/3 double striker. Like, sometimes you just have to play that card to hit people with it. I won a game against a Living End opponent in Baltimore at the SEG Con because I just hard cast a Fury, and he didn't have interaction with it. And I was like, all right, cool, I'll just hit you for 6.
You got him, man.
Shock is just going to pick it up. Josh is going to take game 1 with the Scam deck. And we'll be back with game 2 in just a second with Shock on the play. Hopefully not on a Model 4.
Firebuff Canal.
We have a running joke when it comes to like my friend group and the guys I play test with that like I will snap keep 7s because I hate mulliganing, or I hate losing because of a mulligan. And I want to say it's a joke and be like, oh no, I mulligan. I'm really resistant. I'm like, if this hand is like remotely playable, I will figure it out. I can be pretty stubborn about it, but getting better. So Shaka went Spire Bluff Canal Pass. Josh went Blackcleave Cliffs Pass. And then we got a Scalding Turn Fetcher, and this is when I talk about how upset I am, like actively upset, that Spire Bluff Canal and the enemy versions, or the enemy Fastlands, did not get sweet Zendikar Rising expeditions. Because I want my cards to match, damn it. I want them to match. And I play a lot of red-blue, so I play a lot of Spire Bluff Canal. There's a Ledger Shredder coming out here. Doesn't have something to follow up with it, unfortunately. And I think this is his turn 3, right? So he didn't have... No, this is his turn 2. I'm dumb. Unless Josh missed a land drop. Which could be possible. But... I got distracted by keeping snap 7s. I'm just going to lead on a Thoughtseize here. I think this is the turn that I was I was watching him play, and he has a Terminate in his hand, and as well as another land drop. And I was trying to figure out if it's better to Thoughtseize the opponent or to terminate it, or just terminate the Shredder. I don't know what it is. Like what is?
Take Emery.
All right, takes the Emery away with the Thoughtseize. Plays a tapped Agadeem's Awakening as land for turn, and just passes. 2 Underworld Breach, a Spell Pierce, and Thassa's Oracle is the other card. Or he just drew Thassa's Oracle, something like that. And knows there's an Oracle that appears at some point in time. I always make a cup of coffee before I start recording. And I always forget to drink it. So it ends up just going cold. Which is whatever, I don't mind cold coffee. But like, I'm always like annoyed at myself whenever I do it. Shock's gonna play a tap Sacred Foundry as his land for turn. That red-white shock land. Josh draws, I think, the Polluted Delta as his land for turn. Now has Fury, Terminate, Kroxa. I think that's the border for that card. Yeah, there's the Kroxa. Shock's gonna have to discard a card. And if it's a non-land, he's fine. If it's a land, he takes 3 damage. Puts that Thassa's Oracle right in the bin, which is understandable. It is a card that he can play out of the graveyard with Underworld Breach. It is part of the win condition, actually. And I don't know if Josh has any graveyard interaction to get rid of it, so it's probably okay. I mean, there are Dauthi Voidwalkers in his deck, which does make the grinding station win condition a lot harder. Though Shock could just play a decent bit of removal spells in order to just get the Dauthis off the board. So hopefully he can find those. And hopefully they line up well with the Dauthis. There's an Emery Lurker the Lock, getting hard casted for 3. Mills Ragavan, land, Mishra's Bauble, and blue card that I can't tell what it is. Actually, it looks like a Spell Pierce.
This is pretty tight now, but it's up to the Rakdos as well. Yeah. Oh, you're
Going to pitch Fury here. Going to do a 3-1 split, 3 to Ledger Shredder, 1 to Emery. And then I imagine we're going to see an Undying effect here. Yep. Undying effect going to bring the Fury back. Kills the Emery. That Fury now has a +1/+1 counter on it, and means it hits for 8 damage. Not okay. Has Dothy Voidwalker in hand. I think it's Dothy Grief? Dothy Swamp.
Oops, not what you saw.
And that's not how that works. But there it is. There's the Dothy Woodwalker.
I'll pass.
Those are nice looking swamp basics. That's Kyle whether he got them. Or like what set they are. We are inspecting our graveyard, seeing what we can get. Because we know he has 2 Underworld Breach in hand. Dashes out of Ragavan, which is pretty good here. Can't be blocked by Dothy because of the shadow effect. Oh no, yeah, I think it's shadow. Gets an unlicensed hearse. Makes a treasure. So we have found out that Josh does in fact have interaction for the graveyard. I don't know what it is. I always forget hearse exists. Like it's a good card. I sideboard it in a lot of decks. And I just forget that it's a card. Guided opponent cast it against me in Baltimore, which I didn't agree with them siding it against me, but they cast it, and I was like, oh, that's right. That's a card. Alright, we're going to attack in here for 11 damage. 3 from the Dothy Voidwalker, 8 from the Fury, because it is currently a 4/4 double striker. AU Bluebell manager Dan does not like Fury as a card, and actively, again, he doesn't like it. Says it's the best, one of the best cards in. I think he says it's the best card in Modern Horizons too, and I disagree with him. However, if it's a 4/4 double striker, maybe, maybe I'm willing to agree with that then. But all right, Shock has gone down to 8. We've activated unlicensed hearse. We've hit 2 cards from the yard. Hitting the Kroxa and a card I didn't see. That's the Undying Malice. Or the Undying Evil. I think it's the other version of it. One of which is a little worse than the other one. As it brings your creature back. Shaka could play Ragavan out to be able to crew the hearse, but I don't know. He's staring down lethal on the board. He needs to put up a blocker for the Fury. Kind of need to not take 8 damage. Right, there's the Ragavan. Got 2 mana. Plays out Emery. Okay, so we've put up blockers. Going to mill 4 cards right into the Dothys. Hitting cards he did not want to give Josh. Holy crap. 2 expressive iterations and an Unholy Heat. And the gross part about having double Dothy on the board is that if he sacrifices a Dothy to cast like expressive iteration, the iteration will attempt to go back to Shaka's graveyard, but the Dothy will, the second Dothy will exile it because of its effect, so it just goes back into the void counter pile.
Yeah.
Where's your void counter, Josh?
Yeah.
So Josh just basically drew 4 cards. Holy crap. And he can play 2 of them next turn.
This play has been an enjoyable experience.
Oh my god, my stomach just rumbled. Help me, Lord.
Can I have your...
Josh is currently empty-handed, but he can cast 2 expressive iterations this turn. I think 1 is probably the call. If he casts Unholy Heat, targeting Ragavan, you just crew the hearse with the Ragavan in response. Josh does not have enough cards in his graveyard to get the or to kill the Emery with it.
I'm gonna sack to play an iteration.
Going to sack the Dothy. Going to cast Expressive Iteration. It's going to find Ragavan terminate land. Like 99% sure that's terminate. I think Dreadbore only has 1 or 2 arts. I don't think that's either of them. Speaking of which, Dreadbore, kind of an expensive card. It's like $6 or $7 now. I think it's because of Pioneer, but
I guess it goes back
yeah.
in the exile.
All right, so that iteration is going to go back to the pile.
It would go to your graveyard, but this one brings it back. Wow. Kind of cool.
No, it's not, dude. Let's be real here.
Kinda
I
cool.
feel like
Not
Josh is in a fine position to just swing out here
bullshit.
and attack with Dothy and Grief, and then terminate whatever doesn't block the Fury. So I just say Dothy and Grief, Dothy and Fury.
I'm blaming everybody else. My problem.
Mark, did you win?
Yeah.
He lost, I'm sure. And I was like, cool, play Dylan for the 8 credit. If you lose, he has to give you 8 credit.
It's not good business to berate your best customers, you know.
Okay, sacks Dothy to cast Expressive Iteration. I almost said Prismatic Ending. My brain is soup at the moment.
I'll stick more to what I said. Listen to what he said.
Yeah.
Reveals a card that I can't see. That iteration will go back to Shaka's graveyard.
Everyone else.
I'm the best customers.
Take 2.
Picked up a Fatal Push, I think?
I was confused where that was going.
That's Dreadbore. Okay.
I thought you were about to tell me she
No, that
actually shit
also...
these days.
No, it's another Terminate art, I think, right? Yeah, it's Terminate. So it's going to go Terminate, Terminate,
A lot of people are playing scam today.
Crew, Fatal Push,
Hey Mark, can I hear the last part of your session?
all the removal, attack in for game with Fury. And Josh is going to take it 2-0 with Rakdos Scams a lot. Thank you for watching, folks, and have a great rest of your day.
By